So I just wanted to give a little bit of an update. Uh, I think in one of my videos I said that, well, the start of all these videos was the 18th of July when um, the courts ignored the fact that I was there for the court hearing, and nothing much has changed. I get so hopeful that we'll get some justice, that we'll get some breakthrough. Um, but the courts have held true to their reputation of ignoring and destroying um, a mother and child relationship when you report sexual abuse. Um, so um, they it's just a continuation of that, because we had another court case, like I said, on the 26th of the 9th, which was last week. And my son's father wrote the court by email and said that he has COVID. So I knew he was lying. Of course he was lying. And so I was furious. I was absolutely furious. So I got into my car, drove to his office. He's a lorry driver, like a concrete lorry driver. Drove to his office and walked into his office. I mean, my shoes were completely covered in cement and just mud by the time I got to the office, but I didn't care. Um, and I went to his boss and I said, "Is Ian Stevenson here?" And he said, "No, he's on a delivery." So immediately I knew, oh, well, he's at work. Um, and then I said, "Well, can I wait for him?" And he said, "No, you cannot wait for him, and you have to get off this area because it's for lorries, and did you not see the notice in the front?" So I was like, "Okay, so when will he be back?" And he said he doesn't know. He doesn't know. Very ignorant man. Um, so I went back to the court, and I decided before that, because we've been doing a series at church about, sorry, I've got a cold, about spiritual warfare. And one of the sermons was about the Roman soldiers wearing shoes with spikes in them, and they didn't move when they were in battle. So I thought, right, I'm going to put my spikes on and not move from this courthouse until I've spoken to the judge again. Um, so I said to the clerk, I said, "Look, I want to speak to the judge again." And they said, "Oh, that's highly unlikely. You're not going to speak to him again." So I said, "I don't care. I'll sit here all day." So the judge saw all the court, all the cases he had to see, and he called me into an empty courtroom. And I doubt anything was recorded. I don't know, because it was just empty. I guess he'd finished for the day and decided to have mercy on me. And he asked me what I wanted, and I said, "Look, I went to my son's father's work, and he was at work. He doesn't have COVID." So the judge said, "Okay, well, get me proof, and we're going to move your court date from the 17th of October to Monday." So I was like, "Oh my gosh, finally, I have one tiny foot up. I have one tiny foot up the rung of the ladder. Finally, he's starting to be exposed as the liar and the man he is." So the judge said to me, "Go and get evidence that he's at work." So I went, drove back to his work, and I managed to get photographs of his father at work. His father saw me taking photographs of him and came over and spoke to me and said to me, "Oh, I know you're a good mother. You've always been a good mother. You love Caleb and you would do anything for him. But you still believe I'm a pedophile, and you still believe I've touched Caleb, and I've never ever touched Caleb." And he started going on, and I said, "Look, I couldn't even look at him because, I mean, the lies are just, the fact that he can lie so easily is unfathomable." Um, So I just didn't even look at him, and I said, look, I thought we were going to move forward. Um, I went 50-50, and he was like, no, I'll do supervision. I was like, no, I went 50-50 custody. There's no negotiation. And I thought maybe there was a hope, maybe there was a light at the end of the tunnel. But alas, Monday came, and it was a different judge, and my son's father had conveniently hired a lawyer, which he swore he would never do again because he had to pay his lawyer thousands of pounds the last time. But he needed to cover for what he'd done the week before, so he hired this absolute sort of, how can I describe her? Anyway, she's a lawyer. So he hired this lawyer, and she went into the courtroom and spoke to the judge. The judge then called in my son's father and spoke to him. The whole time I was sitting outside, observing all of this. So eventually the judge calls me in and says, look, we've decided to move your court case to the family care center. So first of all, his father did not get reprimanded for lying to the court and being at work. He did not get reprimanded for the fact that I had evidence of this. Nothing was brought up. Another delay in our court case. So it's moving to the High Court. And I said, well, what decision are they going to make that you can't make? And he was like, well, we have to do what's in the best interests of Caleb. Now, what my question is what did my son's father's lawyer say to him? And what did my son's father say to this judge that I could not defend myself against? And secondly, oh, sorry, I'm losing my train of thought with this cold, I think. Yeah, secondly, I think I said to him as well, sorry, I just said to him, I can't even remember what I said to him, but I was just so upset. I was just in tears again because once again, it's delayed. Once again, I'm not seeing my son. And once again, I've been painted in this light of being this horrible, evil mother who thinks my son's father is a pedophile and my son needs to be protected from me. So yeah, it was just devastating to me. I just thought, my whole goal is to just get my son into therapy, get my son to be with a healthy, safe parent, to get regulation back, to get some sense of normality back. And I'm denied this. And, I shouldn't rely on the courts. Honestly, I thought God was in this whole thing. I thought God had given me this opportunity with his father lying about having COVID. I actually wrote in my position statement, because I wrote a new position statement. I said, look, his father, out of all of the weeks that I've been able to have visitation, his father has cancelled 26 times. 26 times. Well, between him and my sister, they've cancelled 26 weeks of visitation. So where is the pattern here? There's obviously a pattern that his father is preventing a relationship with my son and I. Anyway, I spoke to a human rights lawyer today. Sorry about all this. And they said that I should report my son's father to the police again. And if they do not do a thorough investigation, I can complain to the ombudsman. And I wish I'd known this years ago, because I've seen my son so traumatized. I've honestly seen my son so traumatized over this last year and a half. And I'll explain some of the trauma in my next video, because I haven't recorded it, I haven't exposed it. So I wish I'd known this that I could open a new investigation. I mean, I shouldn't hope in these men. I shouldn't hope in these men. I shouldn't hope in these courts. I shouldn't hope in these police. But what else do I have? I mean, I don't know. It just feels like God is just gives me a glimmer of hope, and then it's just snatched from me, and I just don't know. I know there's so many moms that are in the same position. So where is God? I don't know. I don't know. Uh, I just wish I knew what he was doing. I wish I knew what his plan was. Um, I just hate this fight. I hate this fight. I just want my son back. I hate fighting. I hate this fighting against evil that's just always prospering. I just want peace. I just want a normal life. But I guess as a Christian, that's not even a possibility. I guess as a Christian, you just have to accept that you're never going to have a normal life. You're never going to have a peaceful life. You're constantly going to be warring. And it's so hard to accept, because who wants that? Who wants to be in a constant fight? You just want to live and, not have all this rubbish. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, I'll explain the trauma I've noticed on my son since I've had visits with him on my next video.